All right, so what are the implications of this? Well, let's go back to the the notion of this stable climate, right? This stable climate, which is uh, you know, non-rival and non-excludable. It's a pure public good. Well, it turns out that, if you were to take actions to maintain that stable climate by either helping, the earth serve as a carbon sink better by increasing forest cover or whatnot, or you were to reduce your greenhouse gas output by changing your carbon footprint. And here I'm saying you as an individual, you as a country, then what you would be doing is you'd sort of be providing this service to bring forth more stable climate. So really, greenhouse gas abatement uh, is is a pure public good. One implication of this like non-excludability has implications for how much and whether a private market can sort of provide enough greenhouse gas abatement. So let's consider our standard price quantity graph, and let's consider that this is like a hypothetical market for greenhouse gas abatement. Um, and let's think that we've got, you know, three different countries here, and they each have different demand curves. Now, um, you know, this demand here, now we're going to think about as willingness to pay, right? And so you could think about the global demand as, you know, global demand should be just the sum over, I'm using the sigma here for that summation sign, the sum over all the willingness to pay. So it would be the willingness to pay here, the willingness to pay here, and then the willingness to pay here, right? You'd think that that's what it is, that the sum of all willingness to pay equals, the global, willingness to pay for abatement, right? So if you were to, let's say that that equals, you know, this willingness to pay, this color, the sum. And, we could basically add these up. So whatever this amount is, and then whatever this amount is, right? This amount plus this amount plus this amount. And you could, end up with some big willingness to pay like this. Like, obviously, that's not super to scale, but you get the point. Like, um, if you were to add up the willingness to pay, you should end up having this willingness to pay overall. But like, let's say that we have a technology that allows for abatement at this amount. That this is the price of technological abatement, some fancy schmancy, it sucks carbon dioxide out of the earth and makes it into some sort of concrete like material that we can sink at the bottom of the oceans and deal with our climate change problem. Um, do you think, and here's a question for you, do you think that this quantity Q star is likely to result? What do you think? Take a pause. If you express some doubts, you're onto something, right? Because notice that there is no country that is willing to pay that amount, right? And there's a problem as these different countries start negotiating about whether or not they want to achieve that level of greenhouse gas abatement because greenhouse gas abatement is non-excludable, right? You know, at Q star, this country is willing to pay that much. This country is willing to pay this much, and this country is willing to pay this much, right? What is the right amount that gets paid? Well, if Orange pays that much, they might think, oh gosh, I'm a sucker, right? And if you know, similarly, what's to stop these other countries from basically free riding on the abatement amount that others have provided, right? So it leads to this problematic circumstance in which the market is failing because not necessarily because of the externality as much as the fact that the that correcting for the externality, abating greenhouse gases, is itself a non-excludable uh, and non-rival good, and so the incentives to provide it um, are misaligned to the kinds of incentives that would exist in a private market.